Hey guys, I'm here today talking about my NDE, my near-death experience. And so mine happened when I was 13 years old, racing around a dirt bike track at my friend's house that we had built. Um, I wasn't very happy at that age. I may have seemed like it. I was doing a lot of things that I appreciated, but I was working hard and I was struggling emotionally. I was a lifetime medium and was learning how sensitive I was at that point, really feeling the stressors from everything else around me in life. I was risking my life. And so that day on a dirt bike, I only had for 2 days. I tried to jump about an 80-foot quadruple, 4 jumps in a row. And I overshot it and smacked my head really hard enough to create internal bleeding and hemorrhaging of the frontal lobes, massive brain damage. I witnessed myself after picking myself up off the ground. I witnessed myself for about 30 minutes going fully and completely paralyzed. Initially, it started out that I couldn't communicate. I couldn't say what I was thinking. Instead, I would say other things that weren't pertinent to what I was feeling. I felt like I was dying, but I couldn't function. I couldn't think clearly and I couldn't communicate. And eventually, I couldn't move. I was laying on the ground, face down, in his yard, in my buddy's yard, just staring at blades of grass as I started to slip into and fade away from consciousness. And so I was airlifted, and on that air flight in a helicopter, I flatlined twice and had to be resuscitated. Eventually getting to the hospital, had to be put on full life support because I was no longer capable of supporting my own life. And so just before the doctors were about to cut my skull open to release pressure to save me from dying potentially, the pressure in my brain stopped, which was bizarre, and then started to reverse, which is even more bizarre. And so for me, what I witnessed from the time I went unconscious to the time I was in the hospital really wasn't anything until I got to that point. I remember being in a white room, a really bright white room. It was all light. It was very, very bright. And there were 2 beings standing on either side of me, and I felt that I was laying on a table. I physically was still unable to feel, but I was conscious to witness these entities. What felt like entities. They were beings. They weren't of spirit. As a lifetime medium, I know the difference between a ghost, an angel energy, higher frequency energy, and a being, an entity. And these were entities. These were beings, and they had lowered a plate, a metallic smooth plate over my face. And as soon as they did, I woke up in the hospital. And that was the first collective time that I could except that I was in a hospital. I had no idea what had happened at that point. I didn't know exactly what happened, but I knew I was on full life support, so something serious must have happened. And so I woke up, went through some testing, unplugged from life support, kept doing the tests, and about 4 hours, 5 hours later, I walked out of the trauma center after being in a coma, basically brain dead. And so it was a miraculous recovery. And a lot of people will ask me, well, what was the most impactful thing from that death experience or near-death experience? And usually, I go into how devastating it was to witness myself go paralyzed because of how traumatic that was. I had those memories coming back to me soon after the accident. And so I just, that was very impactful. But really what was the most impactful was this feeling of truth that I got. I was Christian. I was devout in my spiritual quest to be with God and connection to Jesus and different cultural belief systems that I had accrued even at that age, spiritual understandings from being a medium, from being a psychic. And I felt truth for the first time. And it's easy to say that, but what it felt like was unity, a connection to all things. Like the God energy, the life force within me was supercharged all of a sudden. And so I felt truth for the first time. I was motivated not just to heal, because it took me over a year to be able to communicate again. I was handicapped, but also in that drive and passion of what I had felt motivated me to help everyone, motivated me to begin a path of the shaman, the path of the healer, a path of the light warrior. And so I took it upon myself to learn and do as many different things as I could to see from different perspectives and understand myself fully, heal through all of my trauma, but then also through the perpetual healing journey, help everyone else I could along the way. And so now, after over 20 years of professional holistic work and working directly with people and teaching people all these things that I've learned, I now am combining all of it together in one Light Warrior series that is going to change all of your lives. So if you're in a place where you need absolute change and you don't need to go have a near-death experience to witness this truth and the strength of everything that I can teach you and everything that I've been through, then this series sums it all up. You will absolutely become stronger in yourself, see the true value of yourself, be able to express and harness all of your inherited and given abilities, to be able to do the things that are going to keep you healthy and happy and in alignment with clarity, to keep you close to source, close to your permanence, and give you the strength to overcome anything that stands in your way. And so be looking for the Light Warrior series. It's coming soon. Go to shineyourlightwellness.com or check me out on Instagram at Jimi Merk and Facebook at Shine Your Light Wellness. I will see you soon.